Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Running Wrestling Podcast. Had a little bit of technical difficulties. Not sure why I played that twice, but wow,
That was fun.
is it repeating everything for you too?
No. That's right. Yeah, I got everything over here. What's going on, youngies? How you doing tonight, my man? I don't know what's going on.
What's going on, man?
Yeah,
we got Lady Alpha in the house. Welcome to the Running Wrestling Podcast, your home for all things wrestling, hate-free and genre-free. Please join the discussion. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
You forgot that you got your Bluetooth in?
I do.
I thought that's what.
I always have it in. So yeah, I've got some kind of feedback. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm hearing everything twice. So we are going to kick off. As you can see, the WWE Running Crown and the brand new NXT Run-In belt are up for grabs this week. We will go over everything that happened in this week in wrestling. So please, if you're in the comments, make sure you're joining in. Tell us what you think of the shows as we go over them. Let us know if you picked the right people to win like we did. See what we can do. Start off with a couple shows from last week. SmackDown. Sped, what'd you think of SmackDown last week?
It was good. I mean, it was taped, right? That was a taped one. Yeah, I mean, it was I mean, everybody gave it away already. We all knew that the Usos and Roman were gonna get back together. But I mean, the direction, we got no direction until probably this week, going on until for War Games. But overall it was all right for a taping, And yeah. Oh yeah. Speaking of which,
I'm sorry, and I apologize for the technical difficulty, folks. We are trying to work through some stuff.
Oh, you're good. You guys check out the tiny Scott Hall. It's the new feature for the show now.
All right,
we're just
gonna do it like this.
We got Tiny Scott Hall now, folks. Tiny Scott Hall. Say hi to everybody.
Keep talking, buddy. Keep talking.
Keep talking, everybody. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think the bloodline stuff right now. We're gonna understand where it's going more come Friday with when Sammy and Roman actually get to talk face to face. But overall, I thought SmackDown was all right. TV taping, spoilers already, but yeah, we'll see what happens Friday. I'm more intrigued to see what that does.
Sorry again, guys. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties here. Can you hear me, Spit?
Yo, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't hear you, buddy.
Oh God. I'll just throw a thumbs up.
All right, we're going to move over to Raw. Again, sorry for technical difficulties. I know it's been kind of weird. I am having some problems hearing. Sped, we're going to switch over to Raw. Tell me what you thought about Monday Night Raw and the new number one contenders.
Well, all right, look. Damian Priest winning after taking the loss and Damian Priest getting the win now, it just seems forced, right? Everything was pointing Dom. Everything, even the when the tsunamis were coming in and whatnot with Bronson Reed, Dom was still the focal point, And the fact that Damian Priest still won is crazy to me, But at the same time, I mean, I get it. They want the Damian Priest. They want the Gunther match. It's more of a money appeal than Dominic versus Gunther. But right now, and I know you can't hear me, and you're going to hear this.
I can hear you now. You're good. I hear you now. We're fixed. We're good to go. I'm just letting you talk.
Okay. So, Dom, though, did show out. Everything about what he's been doing is been phenomenal. All right. He wrestled pretty dang well. He had a great showing in this fatal 4-way. And I think honestly, Priest winning is BS, but I get it, like I said. But this whole showing for Dom, everybody took him, underestimated him, and he showed out for it. And I thought that was actually pretty cool for it.
Yeah, definitely. No, it was a really good match. I liked it. I actually don't mind that Priest won. I get it. Dom won the week before, but there was some shenanigans and stuff like that there too, as there usually is in a Dom match. I think Gunther and Priest is a better match than Gunther and Dom right now. You can always do that down the road.
Yep.
I actually don't mind him winning. But it was a really great match. I mean, it sets up Bronson and Seth again down the road. It sets up some other stuff. So it was a really good. And I'm going to go back and do some comments that I didn't get a chance to talk about. I don't know if you mentioned them. Davey, appreciate you coming in. Stampede, he is in a Twitter chat with us. Wrestling fans, appreciate you coming in and joining us. Lady Alpha, you taught a 1-year-old how to do the ones up. So acknowledge the tribal chief.
My daughter does it all the time, and she's 2. She tells me all the time in the car, turn Roman Reigns on, and then boom, immediately keeps it up the whole time.
Gotta love it. Anything else on Raw? I know a lot of the stuff is leading in. That was really the big thing to me. You had a little bit more on the New Day thing with them. We are getting a New Day episode for their 10-year anniversary. They're going to dedicate an episode, which I would imagine is probably where the actual turn's going to happen.
What if this happens? And I'm hoping it does. What if this happens? Okay. What if Big E and Woods turns on Kofi? Big E managed Woods to an IC title, but after they beat up, Woods Kofi for a while. That'd be nice. Big E being a heel manager, Woods being a heel. Yeah, I'll keep 2/3 of the New Day together, but that'd be nice to see.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you're going to keep Big E there. I don't know how much you're going to keep Big E on TV if you can't have him wrestle. I think that's a loss because I think Big E just being on TV itself is a huge deal.
Yes.
I would love to have him out there. I don't know, but he may not want to. He may not want to be out there every week and not be able to perform like he used to, like he wants to. All that, I get that. But I think that would be a really cool idea. Just to have 2 of them together, then you kind of have Kofi trying to fight from behind. And even if eventually Kofi kind of joins them and they all become a heel faction, then what they tried to be at the beginning, because if you notice when they first started, they were a heel faction for like 5 minutes and nobody really got along with it. And then they started the power of positivity and started becoming faces. And then everything kind of went from there. So if they could turn them into a heel faction, which would be hard being the New Day, I would really like that now. But who knows? I mean, anytime I can get Big E on my screen, I'm good with it. So at least he's going to be on there for this because they're definitely not going to have the anniversary episode and not have him there. So at least he's going to be there for that regardless. Let's see. We also had an update on The Miz and the Wyatt Six and how I have said from the beginning that they weren't after Karrion Kross. They weren't after my guy.
You're right. Karrion
Kross tells nothing but the truth, brother.
But I mean,
he's a truth teller. There's no reason for them to go after Karrion.
I did put out there on X that Miz lied to Bo and Curtis Axel back in the day, saying he's gonna make them stars. They made themselves stars with the B team.
I do love how they've done those callbacks and bringing this back into it, bringing Bo's past.
Yeah,
so I really do like how they've done that and kind of how manipulative he was to the B team and all that kind of stuff. So that was really cool. I'm interested to see, again, big Karrion Kross fan. I'm interested to see where they go if they stay in the storyline because I noticed. I mean, what do you do with them now? Because if the Wyatt Six aren't going to go after them, what goes on there? If it's only about the Miz, I would imagine they probably get involved with it sooner or later, regardless. Just because they started it out, and they did go after Paul Ellering, so now Karrion Kross wants his revenge.
Well, he did have a post that came out yesterday or the day before, but he drew a picture of Bray Wyatt, and I think that's like his little, warning towards them, like, hey, listen, we're coming, because he told Pierce, listen, if you don't take care of this. I will, and I'm going to throw him off a roof, and
which is so great.
it was
If you've
amazing.
ever,
Yeah.
like, so Karrion Kross is a big thing. I watched a lot of interviews with him. He did it when he did an interview with Chris Van Vliet.
Yep.
He is apparently a big fan of telling everybody's going to throw people down the stairs.
Yep.
I wish he would have done with that, just because my big wrestling behind the scenes nerd would have popped a little bit, just because I thought it was cool. But still, throwing him off the roof is kind of cool. If you guys haven't watched Karrion Kross's interviews and things like that, like his mind behind the scenes is crazy.
Oh, it's great.
It's good. Hopefully he gets a push. Whether again, he'll even tell you it depends on what you call a push. He's on TV every week, so he feels he's getting pushed anyway. But I really hope he gets to do more in the future.
Yeah.
But that's really everything from Raw. Maybe what were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
I was gonna say he's definitely a future IC champion. If anything, definitely a future IC champion.
Yeah. So, anything else from Raw that caught your eye? I didn't really catch anything else. I mean, there were some really good matches on there still, but nothing really big storyline wise.
No.
Okay. We will move on to the tiebreak, our NXT 2300 ECW show. Starting off, well, first off, before we get into the Javon Evans match, that intro, bro, that old school ECW style intro for NXT was awesome.
God.
Loved it.
Yes.
Man, that was so great. I would love for them to keep it. I know they're not, just because they did it special. Yes, Mr. You, welcome in. We love you too, brother. We appreciate you. But I wish they could keep that, because it's a cool ass intro.
Oh yeah.
I get it. It'll go back to their normal intro. Yeah, he also loved the ECW intro. It was really cool. The drawbacks, having or the callbacks, not drawbacks. Having some of the older ECW wrestlers in there as well, having some of the older footage mixed in with the new, the old style camera work and things like that was really cool.
What would have been better is if they let Vic Joseph do it by himself, commentate by himself, just like old ECW, Joey Styles. And I think Vic could do it. Vic could do it. You don't need Booker T. I mean, Booker T's great. Don't get it twisted. But
for this episode, you mean they don't need Booker T?
Yeah, they didn't need Booker T. They could have just had Vic do it the whole time. I mean, this match itself, man, that was crazy. I mean, boy got speed. Yeah. He can bounce. He can really bounce.
That boy bouncy. They even say it in his intro. That boy bouncy, and he bounced all the way across the ring with that frog splash to get the win. Javon Evans did take the win. We didn't actually pick this match because it wasn't announced until the night before, even though they kind of alluded to it, but we didn't know whether it was going to be a triple threat or a singles match. So this actually wasn't part of our tiebreaker predictions, but just a great match. I mean, these two guys, they're amazing wrestlers. They're the future of WWE, part of it. Yeah. Or any wrestling company, if they'd ever decide to leave, they're the future of wherever they decide to go. With everything going on, you can't really say that for a long time now. And let's see. Oh, the Miz is going to be Alexa's new life-size doll. That's pretty good. That's a good idea. Especially with going back to like the whole Mizdow thing where they were, he had the stunt double. That would be kind of funny if they had some kind of puppet master thing where, maybe not Alexa, but even if you let Nikki do that and let her be like a puppet master and he has to like mimic to kind of call back to Mizdow, I think that'd be funny as crap.
Yeah.
I think he could definitely do that. But this match was great. You did have the RVD run in. I noticed RVD, and I don't know if maybe he has an injury or anything. He actually never got physical the entire night because they had the whole chair attack at the beginning, but the camera cut and fell, so they didn't actually do anything physical. Have you heard anything? Do you know anything? Is he hurt or anything?
No, I just know, and look, I know this is gonna be like, oh man, Sped's being me. No, he's just really old right now. I mean,
yeah, all of the ECW guys are really old.
I know, I get it. Body's hurting. He might be just hurting right now. I don't know. Rob Van Dam, very engaging.
Yes, I completely agree.
Oh, I agree with that 100%. Yeah, no, I don't know what it is with him. I know he looked like he was walking real stiff, down.
Well, like even when he did the run in, shout out to the show, during the match, he looked like he was when he went to go swing the chair at him. It's like he was.
He looked
like something wasn't right.
Yeah,
I don't know if he was hurt, if he was high, maybe. I don't know. It's Rob Van Dam. You never know.
Yeah. Dude's probably on cloud 9.
Yeah, definitely. But I think the right person won here. I think Javon Evans needed the win a little bit more. Wesley just had the victory over a couple guys, finishing his feud with the Rascals there a couple weeks ago. So, and Javon Evans had just lost a couple of matches, including the tag match that he had, which led to a lot of this. So the right person won. I'm really glad that he did. Hopefully he gets into the North American title picture, especially with they teasing him going heel for a second a couple weeks ago, so maybe he gets inserted in that North American title and let Wesley kind of go into the main event scene there, especially if some of the rumors that we'll talk about later are true, and you've got some people that may be moving up to the main roster. We'll go ahead and talk about the other match that we did not pick, and it is mentioned in the comments. Nobody was expecting Nunzio except for the phone call they got the week before, but you did have Nunzio going up against Tony D'Angelo for the North American title, which is, again, why I think Javon Evans should be inserted in that, because nobody wants to see a rematch of Nunzio and Tony D'Angelo. But you get the call back. The FBI, the family now. Tony D'Angelo obviously won in a very quick match. Really it was more about the hand raising at the end, showing the solidarity between the families.
I like how he recreated the cross.
When
he did with the Undertaker. He's like, oh God, I gotta do it again. So the people out there body shaming him, though, come on. First off, this man's always been small, all right? And he prided himself on being small all them years. He didn't need to be bulky. He needed speed in his hands, and that's all he needed. And he won cruiserweight titles and tag titles, right? So this is, I don't know why people were doing that, like the man's also in his upper 50s, so let him be. He had a great match for a guy who hasn't wrestled on a big stage like this in years. So
definitely.
I thought it was a good match. I thought, Tony D winning, of course, was the obvious.
What it was,
for what it was, it was a great match. But Tony D, I thought it was great to play into the family business. Now everything's resolved. What's next? And you're right, Javon Evans. That's what's next.
I hope so.
I hope so too. That's gonna be a good match.
Yeah, we are gonna shout out a couple more people. Herb and Raj of the Herb and Raj podcast. Two of his favorite people. I'm guessing he meant Lady Alpha and Mr. U, who were talking to each other a little while ago. I guess that's who he's talking about. Or maybe it's Spared and Mr. U, because I know it's not me. And he does mention Raj. We let Raj in here. We do let Raj in here, and I did not get his comment earlier. He did say evening, Raj. That is the other half of the Herb and Raj podcast. They are live every Tuesday, 8 Central, 9 Eastern. Talking about college football and pretty much anything else they want to talk about. Really entertaining show. So check them out as well. All right. I think those are the only we talked about the other matches that weren't televised or that weren't announced, I guess. So we will move into the match that actually kicked off the show, the hardcore match between Jada and Lola, with Dylan Marie as a special guest referee. What do you think of the match?
Great match. Hardcore match. Great hardcore match. First off, female hardcore match. I picked
hardcore match in general, female or not. It was great.
I picked Lola though, right? And
you did.
I'm disappointed, but listen. I like Jada. She did some phenomenal stuff, but I wanted Lola to win. But that's fine.
Mike complains a lot. Yes, I do. Kind of my thing. You did pick Lola. I picked Jada, and I will tell you, man, Jada in hardcore matches, this is the second one I've seen her in. The other one was with Michin, and I think that may be her niche. I mean, that's seeing her in those hardcore matches. She's believable.
Yeah,
she's believable in that beat down kind of match. I really like her character.
Yeah,
I saw somebody earlier. She may be, and I kind of agree with it. There's a few. She may be the most complete young wrestler on NXT. I mean, I probably wouldn't put her in there with some of the ladies that have been on the independents for a while, but as far as like the NIL kids that are still learning, she's probably head and shoulders above a lot of them.
Yeah,
maybe a Sol Ruka or somebody like that whose moveset I really like, and she's decent on the mic. I think Jada's probably better on the mic than Sol, but I mean, it's hard to. It's hard to judge there, but I mean, that's kind of my own little tangent, but it was a great match. I wasn't crazy about the finish. I think the brick spot should have been the finish for anybody that missed it. Lola
Yeah, that
Weiss
was
had her
cool,
in a
though.
sleeper hold, and Jada, there was a brick laying in the match because it's a hardcore match. What you do, she found a brick, hit her over the head with the brick, and then ended up doing her finisher after that. I think if you just hit somebody in the head with the brick, you should just be able to pin them at that point.
Yeah,
I don't think
knocked out
I don't
Debo.
think you need to hit your hip attack after that because
Yep.
really, is your hip attack doing anything after you hit somebody in the head with a brick?
No.
Is it really? So
Yeah.
if I had any critique about the match, that would probably be the one. I saw people giving a lot of hate to the teardrop through the ladder, like saying, "Well, this is not hardcore." Or something like, you put her through a ladder, dude. I
Yeah,
don't care how you go through a ladder. That hurts.
wrestling fans will never be satisfied.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going back to the Nunzio. My thing wasn't about his size; it was more about ECW representation. Yeah, because he did, and Mr. You even mentioned he wanted to see Sandman, which I thought we were going to see. Yeah, I think that's what everybody thought when the lights went out with the Robert Stone spot, and you got Rhino instead, which I love Rhino. Thought that was really cool. Which is probably more doable with him being in TNA, so it's an easier bring over with the TNA partnership.
Yeah.
But I kind of thought it was either going to be Sandman or Sabu when the lights went out that came up. And then seeing Rhino, I was like, it's still really cool. You're not going to be upset seeing Rhino, who's been in the WWE a lot before.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was a really cool spot. Also, we get our next announcement from NXT with Deadline being the next pay-per-view and the Iron Survivor coming back. That's going to be exciting.
I'm going to like
we'll
that.
get to. We'll talk a little about Iron Survivor here in a little bit with one of the other matches. But again, great match for these two ladies. Great hardcore match. Again, wish the finish would have happened a little differently, but who am I? Just a guy that talks on the internet about wrestling, and I'm not the guy booking it.
Yeah, exactly.
Next up, you had the big tag match: Trick Williams and Bubba Ray Dudley against Ethan Page and Ridge Holland. You see down there at the bottom, Ridge actually gets the pin over Trick.
That was awesome, though.
It was, and I actually, not only did I pick the match right, I actually think I picked that Ridge would make the pin.
You did. You did.
Maybe I am booking the show. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? But the thing is this. Like I said, when I heard him come out with his new theme at Halloween Havoc, I was like, they're about to push this dude to the moon. That's what I told everyone. I was like, dude, this is really, really good. And he is winning now, and he's making it look good. People aren't talking about how he's a bad wrestler and he hurts people. Listen, he had one accident, okay? And they tried to play that in the storyline. That was disgusting, and you weren't supposed to do that. They tried to do it. That wasn't, cool. But he's gotten so much better. He is light years better than what happened, than the time he was when he was, what happened with Big E. So let's give this man some flowers here. It's either he is about to be your next North American champion, or he has really inserted himself into the NXT championship slot.
I think he needs to stay in that main event picture, just because we've talked about there's not enough people up there right now.
Yeah.
Especially if Oba Femi's going to the main roster, like we've heard rumors of. If you're not going to put Oba in that main event spot, Ridge is just as capable of being there, especially with this new heel character and this new direction, as anybody else on the roster. So I mean, he's already distinguished Chase U, which I know I saw Mr. U in the comments. I know Mr. U will be happy about that because he wasn't the biggest Chase U fan. Now that they're kind of gone, he's kind of just dispatched of them. Maybe they can kind of go their own way. He can stay up here in the main event, and hell, who knows? Maybe after a match or two, maybe he takes the title off Trick. Maybe they get ready to pull Trick up to the main roster after WrestleMania, and at Stand and Deliver, you've got Ridge Holland versus Trick Williams, and Ridge takes it. That'd
be dope.
Could be.
Or a triple threat.
Because you still got Ethan Page there, who still wants another title shot, even though he's lost a couple. You never know who really goes there. I don't know that I want to see Ethan Page and Trick Williams again because we've already done it a few times. If you do, I want to see Ridge Holland first. I guess that's kind of the best way I would put it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If Ethan Page comes in and costs Ridge or Trick in their singles match and you get a three-way that way, I'm more okay with that. But Ethan Page needs to go behind him, and especially with the pin, which we'll allude to in our next match. Any other thoughts about this match? Sorry, I got sidetracked.
Oh no, it's all good. You're good. No, I don't.
Sorry, and I haven't said this because I know we had the technical difficulties first. I apologize, everybody. I am sick. So if I am not 100%, I apologize. I'm actually a little medicated too. So if I get a little loopy, you're welcome. Should be interesting. But we'll move on to the main event of the night. It is the 10-woman tag. The newcomers in NXT and the established vets in Jasmine Nix. But a great match.
Great.
I loved every second of this match.
Yes.
I liked seeing the dissension where Zarya accidentally spears Jordan Grace. I think that sets up a match down the road. Which, please, please do that match.
Yes, please do that match, especially after Jordan Grace came out on X earlier and said, "Does the face paint not help you see, make you not see or something like that?" I would love to see this match. That would be a great match. But Zarya, come on, man, she was phenomenal throughout this whole match. Like people are now they're seeing what NXT just got in: Julia, Stephanie Vacour, and Zarya. Now you're bringing in Jordan Grace. And then you got Kalani Jordan. Now you were alluding to a few other people as well, but it's on. This women's division is phenomenal, and I'm glad they got the main event finally. Finally,
yes, they deserved it.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought again. And you can see down at the bottom, Zarya actually gets the pin over Roxanne, which. What does that do for the main event picture there? Because everybody's talked about, when Julia came in, they talked about her getting a match. When Stephanie came in, they talked about her getting a match. Stephanie actually had the pin over Roxy in the tag match with her and Cora at Halloween Havoc.
Yep.
Now Zarya gets a pin. Who's next for Roxy?
You think they're gonna switch it up? Like, have Stephanie go first, and then with Zarya go after Fallon for the NXT North American title.
Awesome.
I mean, they could do that, and then they could have Zarya come in and take on Roxy. But honestly, it would be better if you turn Zarya heel and just let her run roughshod for a while through this division. Because, you're going to get great matches no matter what. Zarya versus Stephanie Vacour. That's one. Zarya versus Julia. Zarya versus Cora Jade. Zarya versus Jordan Grace. All for the title. And then you could literally sit there. Trick ain't ready, fam. Oh, no, I feel that. Going back.
Sorry, I thought you were going to finish your point before you loaded that. I forgot that I had sped here.
No.
I should have put it up there. That's my fault. I should know better by now. I've known you long enough.
Yeah, I'm hoping they give it to her. Just give her the title. Give her some title and let her run through the whole damn division. Yeah.
And I think that's probably why you bring her in as a face, because I think she will end up going after Fallon. As much as but I think what they're alluding to with Zarya pinning her, we just talked about the Iron Survivor. I don't think there's any way you have an Iron Survivor that you don't have at least 3 of those 5 in it.
Yeah.
On the babyface team, you at least have Stephanie, Julia, and Zarya in that match. If Jordan Grace, because Jordan Grace is still with TNA, she's not full-time NXT yet, even though we all think it's coming.
Royal Rumble.
Probably. Maybe, I think her contract is supposed to be up early next year, so she may be full-time at that point. But if TNA loans her again to be in the Iron Survivor, maybe those are the 5 people in the Iron Survivor, the entire babyface team to go up. So I think that's why they started doing that, so they could show a little bit of dissension there without having to turn anybody heel. So, and I think that's where they're going to go. But I think Zarya ends up going after Fallon. And I agree. Zarya getting the pin. This is one of the best things going in wrestling right now. This title picture. Completely agree. It is so. Herbert Rogers like this. There's such a log jam up there at the main title picture for the women's title in NXT. It's great. You have so many people that can do it, and that bleeds into the North American title. I mean, any of these women that don't go for the world title can easily drop down and be a great challenger for Fallon as well. The entire title picture in general for the women of NXT, can't say the same about the men really. But the women's title picture, both mid card and main title, I think is in great shape in NXT. So I definitely agree with that. Going back to the Ridge thing, Davey or Stampede, Davey, tell me what you want me to call you on there because I see Davey and it's hard. But I know you're Stampede. Not sure if Ridge is a top title holder. I mean, who else though? Do you keep it on Trick? Who else do you have in NXT down there? That's not like you're overflowing with talent on the men's side of the roster there. So for what you have, I think Ridge could be a title holder in that roster.
Yes. If an 11-year-old could win the tag titles at WrestleMania,
I thought he was 13.
I don't know how old he was. He was a kid.
Look, you put some respect on Nicholas's name.
I can't. He spells it with an H.
So definitely, but a great show. I think the ratings just came out. I think they did a solid 6.5.
Yes,
which is good on a night that's not normally theirs.
Yes.
It actually beat the week before. The week before only did about 5 something. So they actually beat themselves on their own night the week before having the special show. I mean, which, viewership, that's always great. I know we don't normally talk a lot of numbers on the show, but it's always great to have those numbers going up when you're not on your normal night and having a little bit of a different feel. So we say that, we said last week we tied on our NXT Halloween Havoc predictions. So we used this as our tiebreaker. And you will notice a little bit of jewelry on the picture there. I've got my AEW crown, and I've got something new there. What is that? That's
all right. Listen,
do I have a new belt?
Yes, you have a belt. Okay.
What? Oh, so that's interesting. That says the NXT. So that means I won. That right? That's what that means.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure. I'm sick. I'm not all here. I just wanted to make sure I had that right.
He's now. He's pulling an Eric Cartman without pulling an Eric Cartman. The yeah.
But you do notice there is something missing out of this picture. There is a crown missing, which we will get to because the crown jewel was last week from Saudi Arabia, which we do have. So I had to vacate the crown. We will see who wins that as we go through our predictions for crown jewel. Stampede there, Jordan's contract is up January 1st, so that's good. Nice. So she could definitely make a debut in the Royal Rumble and be in NXT full time there.
Before you switch, let's give you a round of applause for being the inaugural NXT prediction champion here. All right.
Well, I don't like to brag.
There you go.
I really don't.
Hey, listen, you were the first of all 3. All right. You're the first run-in WWE prediction king.
Well, I really wasn't.
Yeah, you were.
Because we're not just gonna scrub the
no,
different
names. They were different names. You can't like that, it's different promotions.
I was the first one to have the actual because you made the crown before we switched over, didn't you? There was a crown before. So no, I'm not gonna do that. We're not sweeping the triple threat under the floor. You do not forget where you came from, sir.
No, I'm not. I'm saying you're the first one here in the run-in. You won the Triple Crown in the run-in already. 1, 2, 3. I should get you.
We will say that. We're good with that. I'll take that one. So just like me having all 3 titles, Vakor held all 3 titles at the same time this year, so she's more than ready. So that's apparently I am also more than ready. Maybe I'll go down and challenge Trick since I've held all 3 of our titles in the same year, within the same month, really. Because we will go back and see if. Well, we don't know that. We haven't gone through Crown Jewel yet. I had to vacate it because it's up on the ladder. It's up on the pedestal. And now we have to find out how our picks went for Crown Jewel to see if I get my crown back.
Yeah.
Then I have 2 crowns and a belt. I have all the gold.
You got to get that picture. Yeah.
But we will. Yeah, I know. But we did have Crown Jewel, a better pay-per-view than I thought it was going to be at the beginning.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be terrible.
Yeah, it really wasn't. What did you? Oh, hold on. I got one more comment about NXT. Tavian Heights really showed out in his Noah run. He did. He gained a lot of ground going overseas and doing in other promotions and things like that. I think he will be a future champion. They just haven't built him up as that in NXT yet. Not that they can't.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's definitely a future opponent down the road. And Lady predicted only because she actually did really good. From what she predicted, if she gave her predictions last week on the show, she actually did better than both of us. So she
Yeah,
would
I
actually
saw
be
her
the
tweet.
queen.
I saw her
Yeah.
post and everything, man. She was like 4-1 or something like that. I was like,
Yeah.
holy crud. Man, she is
She
killing
would
it right
actually
now.
if we counted fan tweets and audience and family tweets,
She's the queen.
she would be the queen. But
She's the
it's
queen.
between us. It's a one-on-one title match. Maybe we'll do that one time. Maybe once we get enough people in the chat, we'll have a fan contest on. We may do that. We're going to do that for Royal Rumble. Mark it. January, ladies and gentlemen, or February, whenever the Royal Rumble is. We are going to have a fan-driven predictions match where everybody is involved, just like a Royal Rumble, where we will have the show go through our predictions. You also put your predictions, and Sped will write them all down because I'm not doing that shit. And keep up with them. And we will actually have a all-time Royal Rumble winner. God, I don't want to say that a bunch, but we're going to.
Make a
and it will be the run-in Royal Rumble winner will be one of the people in the audience. So make sure you tell your friends to subscribe, like, join the show. That way, once they get up to the Royal Rumble, they are ready to make their picks, and hopefully they will win a cool trophy or something like that. We'll have to have some kind of prize. Hopefully we'll have a prize for something for the fans once we get to there. That's up coming into the future. Back rewind to Crown Jewel. Again, sorry, I know I interrupt you. 1 to 10, what did you rate Crown Jewel?
7.5 out of 10. I can't give it a perfect 10, and 8 seems too high. 9 is way too high, but I gave it a 7.5. It was good. It wasn't like right home to your mama about great, but she said 4-2 total. But it wasn't right home back, to your mama great, but it was good. The bloodline stuff was actually good. Solo getting the win, that was actually pretty cool. But
over.
I know. That's why I stopped myself with the other things. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a good pay-per-view. It's just a few things I just don't care for the whole women being subjected thing. Like they got to be not subjected. I don't know the word I'm looking for right now. But
they've got to be covered. Yeah,
yes, I understand what it's for. I get it. Don't get that twisted. I'm not arguing about that. It's just why do we have to do it?
Yeah. So that's a whole nother discussion for a whole nother show.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I get it.
I agree. It was a great show. And I say great. It was a good show. I also would have had it around a 7-ish, 7.5, 6.5, somewhere in that range. So I'm not far off from you on there. I think some of the matches, I don't agree with some of the booking, I guess, is probably part of it, which we'll get to. But overall, I mean, everybody did what they were supposed to do. I think a couple people showed out.
Oh yeah.
But we'll start off with the triple threat match. One that I actually got wrong because I think we both did. I think we both picked Carmelo. We thought something was going to change.
I thought Melo was going to get it. Honestly, I mean,
he should have probably. I mean, I think out of the three, I think he looked the best in the match.
Yeah,
I will say this was probably the best finish of the night, to be completely honest, the way they did that.
Yes.
You've got, Andrade and Carmelo going at it. Carmelo's about to try to hit the move. LA Knight sneaks in, hits a BFT basically on both of them at the same time, the way it was done, and then picks up the win, retains the U.S. Championship.
Are we still feeling the LA Knight experiment right now? I mean, everyone calls him the megastar. I don't feel like he's the megastar anymore. So
I have a theory on this, and I think this is why they gave him the win at Crown Jewel. We may not be here in the States as much. Saudi loves him.
Oh yeah.
And I think that, and I will talk about this. I will talk about this quite a bit on a few matches. I think a lot of the booking decisions that were made in this were made because they were the fan favorite in that arena.
Or the Prince's favorite. Yeah. And that's what throws me off about all this Saudi Arabia stuff. I would love for them to do like the UK. When they go to the UK, everything's all about, storyline driven and stuff. This is just all thrown together within like 3 weeks. It just doesn't work out. There's no story to it. I mean, LA Knight, yes, he messed up the game 7. He ruined it for everybody. Okay,
He did.
but
And yet he's still the face somehow.
somehow he's still the face, exactly, right? But like we all know, we could have got the true game 7 with the US title on the line if Melo won. And that's the thing. Where does LA Knight go now? Where does he go from here? You can't go back to Santos like they had him in a dark match
So
over in Hershey.
this is why I love you. I actually have a plan for that. And somebody gave me the idea on X, and I actually posted it. I quote tweeted them on X. And so imagine this: tomorrow night, LA Knight comes out to have a celebration for retaining his U.S. championship. He's out there talking. He's like, "I've beat everybody. Nobody can hang with LA Knight. So I'm going to have an open challenge right here, right now on SmackDown." And then you hear Obafemi's music.
Oh my God.
They've talked about him getting called up. They've been talking about it for weeks. He's ready. What a better way to bring him in than to let him answer an open challenge? Think Kevin Owens, John Cena a few years back,
Yes.
or a lot of years back, I guess now.
That was, yeah.
He comes out
Yeah.
and beats LA Knight for the U.S. championship on his first night.
And that would be awesome. That would be awesome. But it's like, again, you could easily do that, LA Knight being all angry without the title and calling whoever, someone come out here and let me beat you, girl. Yeah.
Oh, well, no, I've already put Crown Jewel out of my mind. This match on our screen is out of my mind for that.
Yeah.
I have to deal with LA Knight as the champion, so that's how I want it to go down.
No, I feel that. But I mean, I thought he was going to go to Raw. He said
If he's
5.5 out of 10. Oh, but I
can't argue. I can't argue with that. I mean,
I can't argue with that either. See, I thought I was being generous, okay, with the 7.5. All right. I just trying to make,
especially the way we just talked about the first match. We both said 7 or 7.5. We both bagged on the first match, which we thought was good, but
it was great.
And about the ending.
Yeah. Well,
or about the decision.
Yeah, the decision. The ending was awesome. The match was phenomenal. All 3 men tore it down. It's just we think the wrong person won. Like storyline making sense.
Again,
yeah.
I will forgive every bit of that if Obafemi comes out and beats him on Friday night.
That'd be great. I will have a camera pointed at me. Oh my God. Yeah, like Joe Rogan, like, oh yeah.
Well, I don't think he sounds like that.
Yeah.
Moving on to the 8-team tag team match. Bianca and Jade retain. We both had different picks on this, but we were both wrong. You thought that the Metaphor was going to take it. I was hoping that Chelsea Green and Piper Niven would take it. Again, a great match. Clothing aside, having to cover up everything with your point earlier. The match itself was awesome.
They were also quiet mostly throughout this match, and that's another thing I didn't like. They were very quiet during the women's matches, and it kind of annoyed me because these women tore it down, all 4 tag teams. All 8 women, all 4 tag teams. They tore it down, and people are now just starting to recognize Piper Niven. It makes me sad because this woman, she has been phenomenal since she's been in NXT UK, since coming up to the WWE. She's been phenomenal. Her and Chelsea together, we all love that tag team, but now they're starting to see she can go in the ring with anybody. Lash showed out, everybody showed out, and yes, I wanted Metaphor to win, but I get it. Keep the titles on Bianca and Jade for a little bit longer until one of them is absolutely ready to turn heel, and I think they
teased that a little bit.
They did.
On Monday Night Raw. They showed it a little bit on Raw. I know we didn't talk about the women's match on Raw, but they did tease that. But I was glad to see the Lash Legend and Jade kind of square up. I thought that was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool, yeah. Yeah.
And it's great to see, and here's my thing. When Jade was in AEW, I thought she was great.
Yeah.
But they didn't have anybody else actively on the roster. I mean, you had somebody every now and then who was her size and strength and everything like that. Now you've got, Lash, you've got Nia, you've got Piper, you've got Bianca. You got bigger women or stronger women that can actually fight her style when
Yep.
when she finally goes single. And I think they're going to tear it up.
Oh yeah, and like I told everyone, Jade always looks good with gold on, so she'll be getting gold real quick. Yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, again, I still think Jade should be the one that goes heel. I know we've talked about that a few times. I think her style um, feels more heelish, so I think her character would be better as a heel.
I would
And
love
then
to see
Bianca
go
being the
heel.
face. I no, trust me, I love Bianca, and Bianca in NXT as a heel was awesome.
Yeah,
But I think it fits Jade. I think it will help Jade better to be a heel than to try to force her to be a face with the way she wrestles, because it's more ground and pound style.
yeah. No, I feel what you're saying.
Right. So, but I do think, again, and we talked about it last time, head versus heart. I said in my head that I thought that Jade and Bianca will win, but I went with my heart, went with Chelsea and Piper. This is one of a couple matches tonight that if I'd have went with my noggin, I'd have done a little better, but it didn't. So, but again, great match. Great to see all women doing well, and I wouldn't mind seeing a few rematches out of this. To be completely honest,
Yeah, no,
as
I
long
feel
as the
that.
tag titles are getting on TV more, I am all for that.
Yes.
All right, next up, you've got, well, not really a match,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
kind of a fight.
Yeah, they just
never
kicked
actually
each
had a
other's
match.
butt. Yeah, they just kicked
Yeah.
each other's butt throughout there. What was it? KO stunned the referee, and then Adam Pearce got RKO'd. I
He
mean,
did.
and I think that's setting up. Listen, if Woods has his way, I hope it does. He does. Traditional 5-on-5 series coming up at Survivor Series. Please let him have his way. But yeah, no, there was nothing to talk about here. We all knew, they just beat each other up.
It sets up. It sets up for a match later down the road. I've heard rumors that Survivor Series Cody's going to miss Survivor Series, so maybe that's why they kind of kicked the can down the road on this one a little bit.
Yeah.
To win in. Oh, there's Stampede. He rated 4.5 out of 10 for the women's tag team match. Thank you, sir. And Carissa, I see your comment as well. I'll put that up there when we talk about that match. I don't want to get ahead of that. If you're new here, Sped, he gets easily distracted, so I didn't want to interrupt the other matches by bringing that one up, but I will put that up there and everybody else's rating of that match when we get there. But definitely it sets up some stuff down the line. We'll have to see what happens tomorrow night on SmackDown, how they do the fallout there. Moving on to my match of the night. I don't know how you feel about it.
That dude's scary. Okay. He took 3 curb stomps, stood straight up, bleeding out of his face, and just stared down Seth at the end, like, "What's up?" Yeah.
And then destroyed everybody on Monday.
Yeah. Oh my, he's freaking crazy. All right.
But again, we talk about the decisions. Did you really need Seth Rollins to win there?
No,
Seth Rollins did get the win. Again, Bronson looked great. He looked like a monster, taking the 3 curb stomps and then standing up right after the pin. I get that, but you could have easily had Bronson win there and then Seth Rollins come out and attack him the next night.
But it comes back to what you said earlier. The Prince in Saudi Arabia wanted to see the face win. They didn't want to see Big Bronson Reed. Yeah, they wanted to see the architect, the visionary. They wanted to see the Messiah. They wanted to see him win. So, that's what my problem was with this show too. The same thing as you, decision making. You're correct. This is why I put down Seth Rollins over, because I knew this one was going to be, they're going to want Seth to win over there. I haven't seen Seth take a loss over there yet, has he? Even as a heel. I don't think he's taking a loss.
Probably not. I mean, and that's the one. Again, I'll go back to what I said last week, head versus heart. I even said my head says Seth, my heart says Bronson, just to kill him with tsunamis. But I get it. I get the decision. I get why they did it. I'm not happy about it, but it is what it is.
It is.
But still, that's not going to take away from the incredible match they had. I'm still glad they made Bronson Reed look like a monster. They let him go back out on Raw. the next show, basically destroyed. And if you'll notice, I don't think he touched Dom in that match. He hit everyone else but Dom.
He didn't touch Dom, and that's what Dom was. They had a camera on Dom, and he's like on the outside, like, dang. Okay.
Well, so and the problem with that, and here's why he didn't touch Dom. It's not because they think Dom's special. If he tsunamis Dom, they're gonna blow the roof off with cheers.
Yes, exactly.
That's why he didn't. They needed to keep him a heel, and they knew if he tsunamied Dominic Mysterio, he'd be the biggest babyface in the company.
Oh, if he did,
he would be Cody Rhodes Jr.
Yeah, exactly. He'd be selling all the merch tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So they need to keep him heel. They need to keep him as this monster that nobody likes, that everybody's scared of. So he went after all three baby faces, destroyed all three of them, and still sets up another match with Seth Rollins.
Can we acknowledge? And everyone's gonna say, "Oh, Sped, what are you talking about? Bro, you forgot about Braun Strowman." Braun Strowman hasn't been on this level of monsterness, except when he was doing it up against Roman Reigns. After that, he didn't do nada, monster-wise. I mean, he wasn't finished with Roman, but he was finished with Brock Lesnar pretty quick. You know what I'm saying? So, but Bronson Reed it feels like a bigger monster since Kane's debut, where Kane came out and ripped off the cage, and then he's like lighting people on fire. He lit a man on fire backstage, so, or he accidentally hit China with a fireball that one time, so Bronson Reed feels like a bigger monster since Kane. And I think they finally got their big man that they're going to be like, yeah, this guy, IC champion. He's going to win a few. He's not going to win a lot. He's going to win a couple to a few world titles, WWE titles. It's going to slip. He's going to sneak in there. People are going to realize, later on, that's a Hall of Famer we're looking at. Yeah.
Could be if he keeps going.
Yeah.
He's definitely got that trajectory right now. And I'm glad to see it because they when he first came out, it was so stop-start with him.
Yep.
Until he started doing the stuff with Seth and doing the one thing he's doing now. I mean, it's night and day from when he came in and he was the muscle for the Miz.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
7.5 out of 10. I'd agree with that. I'd probably put it even a little higher, maybe.
I was gonna say
yes, definitely.
Yeah. I was gonna say
definitely in that realm. Next up, you've got the Bloodline, OG versus other. So this is where we'll bring up Krista. She was asking us what we thought about the OG and the new Bloodline. So Sped, I'll let you go first. What'd you think
loved it. I liked the decision to give Solo's team the W in this one. All right, and especially over it was the second pin over Roman Reigns in what, 4 years, 5 years, 4 years, something like that. I mean, come on, you wanted to push.
Is it not the third though?
Third time he's been pinned?
Didn't Jay pin him in a tag match? You had Cody pin him, and now Solo's pinned him.
Who got pinned at no, they did. Never mind. No, Cody got pinned at WrestleMania.
I'm talking about like Jay before WrestleMania when he finally broke out. There was a tag match. It may have been him and Cody.
Yeah,
he did the splash, and Jay actually got the pin on him.
I think you're right about that. But
yeah, I think he's been pinned 3 times in 4 years.
Still, though, like Solo has pinned 3 WWE champions: John Cena, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes. All right, you're pushing this guy to be the next tribal chief, but I mean, you haven't done anything. He pins Roman Reigns, and now he feels a little more, a little more tribal chiefy. I mean, we all still know that at the end of the day, Jacob Fatu is going to turn on, or he's going to turn on Jacob. But either way, I liked the match. I thought it was a fun match, fun opening match. This decision, I said I was going to go with the OTC until you made me change my mind. Yeah, the original try. Yeah, but yeah, if you didn't make me change my mind, we would have tied.
Yeah, don't remind me. Maybe. If you'd have been more independent and stuck with your original decision.
I know. I'm so
you saw Stampede gave it a 5.5.
Yeah.
So Carissa's next question is: do you think Jay and Carissa, I appreciate you coming in. I know it's the first time you've been with us. We actually talked about this a little bit. I don't think Jay should have kept it. I originally said I thought he should, but the way they did it, having Solo and those guys cost him, I think brings a better way into bringing him back into the fold. Kind of the same thing Lady Alpha said. Spin, I know you kind of felt the same way after we had talked about it, but do you still agree?
Yeah, no, I think none of them should have had a title belt going into this,
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're gonna set this up to War Games, and that ending is what made me not like this match. The whole Roman going for a Superman punch, Sami Zayn just coming in with a big boot, just running on one leg.
He's trying to do a hula kick.
I get it, but I mean, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, look, they need to drag it along a little bit. You've still got almost a month away from you got to have something to put on SmackDown. You had to have something to put on Raw. So Sammy's going to come out. They're going to have some family therapy tomorrow, and they're going to talk about it. So you had to be able to draw it out a little bit longer. If the match was already set now, then you have to do 4 weeks of just back and forth. At least now there's still a little bit more story into it. So I don't mind them doing that. I almost wish that Sammy had not come out at all.
Yes,
to be honest, and then they just continue it after that. But like we talked about last week, Sammy's going to make an appearance.
Yeah,
like we talked about earlier tonight, he's one of the fan favorites over there. Sammy was going to make an appearance of some kind because they want the pop. The crowd wanted to see him, so he was going to come out there at some point. So I get it. Again, one of those decisions I don't necessarily agree with, but I understand it because of where you're at.
Yeah.
Which we keep talking about it all night, and you really shouldn't have to talk about it with a pay-per-view, but unfortunately with this one you do.
Yep.
I mean, they gave WWE $10 million to do these shows. And that was a few years back when $10 million was a little bit more than $10 million is now. So if it's going to be a one-off show, kind of off stuff like that, you can still further your storyline the same way you did it. It doesn't really kill everything.
Yeah, no, I feel what you're saying.
Next up, you've got the Crown Jewel champion for the ugliest belt in the world. Luckily, they leave that crap in Saudi Arabia and give them a huge ring, which isn't as gaudy, even though it's still a huge ring. Liv Morgan beats Nia Jax with tons of interference, as we thought it would. What do you think about this one?
Look, man, when the biggest thing I had an issue with is the whole they didn't acknowledge her as a champion. I'm talking Saudi Arabia. Okay. When she won, it was quiet. Again, they didn't even have the guys come out to give her the belt. It was just H holding her arm up. She's got a belt. I thought the match was good. Everybody saw the interference coming, but I had a problem with the ending. That whole her getting the title and everything. And we're about to talk about the Cody. When he got his, you saw guys come out to present it to him. So where was that for Liv? And that's my whole big thing about Crown Jewel, Saudi Arabia. You got to just be equal, man, with the whole thing, I
understand. But the match in general, I thought was really good. There was a lot of shenanigans and stuff like that, which it's a Liv Morgan Nia Jax match. You can't have that match without them. I liked the way they played off of each other outside with Tiffany and then those guys. I agree, Lady Alpha. It has gotten better. I will say that. They're not there yet. They have made
it's gotten a lot better.
And again, I'm not going to defend Saudi Arabia very much, but I will say 6 years they've been doing these now.
It's gotten a lot better. Yeah.
The first couple of shows, they didn't even allow women on television
at all. And
then you got to have, I think Jess got to ref a match. And then the year after that, they actually had a match. Now, I mean,
it was.
You've come a long way from not being allowed to have not even allowed to being on the show to having 12 different women featured on the show at any point. You had 8 women in the match. You had the 2 in here, which is 10, then the 2 on the outside in Raquel and Tiffany. So baby steps, I guess. They've gone a whole long time, which I know we're getting off in a tangent that doesn't have anything to do with wrestling. But if these shows over in Saudi Arabia have done anything, it has broadened how women are treated on television there. And that's not just me talking. I've read articles about it. I've seen it.
That's everywhere.
I've actually researched it, so I'm not just talking out of my ass.
Yeah, he's not talking out of his rear end.
They have they have made strides because the WWE has come over and pushed back on some stuff to have their female performers as a part of it. So while they're not there yet, they're a lot further than they used to be. That's all I'll say about that. Go ahead.
Was that stadium smaller than the previous one that they did?
I think it was the same one.
It was the same.
The way they have the stage set up there, they did the same setup last time, I think. But the way they have like the wall in the background, it makes it look smaller.
It looks way smaller. Yeah, it was like wow.
But I think it was the exact same setup they had last time, earlier this year when they did King and Queen of the Ring.
You see how big that title is, though, on Liv?
I did. We talked about it before the show. I told you if she won that match,
if
she won that belt, it was going to go from chin to knees.
Oh my goodness!
And if she had tried to put it around her waist, that's exactly what it would have been. It would have been chin to knees, nothing but belt.
Oh, that's crazy. But yeah, we gotta go to the next one.
Yep,
go to the next. Yeah, there we go.
Cody wins the crown jewel title for the men, beating Gunther clean. As a matter of fact, we thought there would be some shenanigans in this, and there was not. What did you think about the decision there?
Yeah, I thought this was a great match. You know, they had to do the ending the way they did, just to protect both of them. It's just shenanigans, type of deal. But 3.25, I get that one. I do. And yes, squirrel. Okay.
I wasn't gonna bring it up again. I've dogged you enough for it. You go ahead and keep going.
No, but yeah, no, I like this match. I thought it was a good match. Two champions actually got to show their craft, do their work. Gunther's just a beast, no matter who he's going up against. Anytime he smacks someone in the chest, it hurts me. Okay, it gives me that. Remember when Big Show hit Kofi in the chest and it busted his chest? Yeah, oh my god, it gives me that feels. But no, I like this. But again, it was just the whole. Why does he get the treatment but she doesn't? And that's what irritated me the most. But yeah, I can't take away from the matches. The matches were great. This right here has told a story. Was Gunther number one? Is Cody number one? Who's really the number two? And it was really good storytelling on that. I think next.
And I like the way they did it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I like how Gunther was dominating at the end of the match, and Cody does the back roll, pins his shoulders that way while he's still in the hold.
Yeah,
because it doesn't necessarily mean that Cody's that much better than Gunther the way they did it.
Yeah,
they're still fairly equal. Yeah, Cody just outsmarted him for those 3 seconds.
Well, do you see how big the belt was on him when he put it around his waist? Oh man! Oh, Cody, if you're watching this, brother, how much does that thing weigh? Right, that had to hurt the abs. Right, that had.
First off, if Cody Rhodes is watching this, please comment. Follow me on X.
Yeah, do that.
Oh, yeah, do that first. But then, yes, let Sped know how heavy the belt was after that.
Sped's number 2.
We're gonna do a couple other things. Well, I mean, you didn't say you wanted it. I'm gonna fight for me at this point.
Hey, that's all good in the hood. Welcome to the show, folks.
I agree. I thought it was a great match. Again, I liked the way that one ended. Just like we talked about before, I picked Gunther because I thought Gunther should win, but Cody's the face of the company.
Yeah,
Cody's the fan favorite. Yeah. There was seeing the rest of the matches. By the time this match got there, I knew there was no way Cody was going to lose. I knew I was already going to get this one wrong because of the decisions from the rest of the night. Cody Rhodes is going to have that ring. Cody Rhodes is going to get that pop. Cody Rhodes is going to be there and get the win. There was no way around it after seeing the decisions that were made earlier in the night. And you can't argue with it either way. Really, they're both great wrestlers. They're both champions. The way they did it didn't make either one of them look weak. So I'm okay with that. And Saudi Arabia got the pop that they wanted. They got to do the fireworks and all that good stuff. And the baby face of all baby faces in the company right now gets the win.
I think the biggest thing for them, biggest thing for them was that they got Monday Night Raw. Yeah, the next night.
They did get Monday Night Raw, which we talked about earlier. It was taped. It was a little weird with everything being taped this week.
Oh yeah,
because of that tour.
Felt like a 90s.
Exactly. But we do get back to live wrestling tomorrow night with WWE SmackDown. Hopefully it's a great show. And we do have to acknowledge I did lose the AEW crown, so I did While I gained a belt, I lost a crown, so it's not a perfect night for me. Congratulations, King Sped. I will give you your props just like I tried to give myself.
Hear ye, hear ye. King Sped is here. I was gonna say
Yeah.
King Booker.
Is there anything you would like to say to all of your loyal subjects?
Get back
I
to
guess,
work.
which includes me as well. Get back to work. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We will move right on then, since I need to get back to work. I like how you did that. Thank you.
I like it.
Right.
Yeah.
And we get to our Twitter post of the week. We actually have 2 this week. The first one, everybody saw last week, or most people saw. If you didn't, welcome. We're giving you some news now. WWE has come out with WWE ID to bring up independent talent, give them a better path to come to the WWE developmental program to partner with a lot of independents around. Let's be fair, most of them were already owned by WWE superstars.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I don't think we had talked about it. What are your thoughts on just the ID program in general?
I like this. I like this move. This was a great move by WWE. It kind of puts AEW in a little bind right now. But I mean, AEW could keep looking international, which they have been with New Japan and stuff. But with this WWE ID, it showcases a lot of these new guys, new females, and everything. They're kicking some ace out there. You know, I'm trying to keep this PG since we're on YouTube. They're kicking some butt out there in the indies.
I've cussed like 3 or 4 times. It's okay.
I know.
It doesn't go past the guidelines. You're okay.
It's all good, but still, you know, I think these guys finally getting the exposure that they need. You know, it's not just I've seen it help already with the whole today. They were announcing some of the people that they are ID'd. There's a lot of female wrestlers, a lot of male wrestlers that got a lot of followers because they're on this ID now. People are starting to get exposed, and it's beautiful to see that. Now I'm waiting for them to go international with it. Let me see them when they go to Stardom or Noah or out there in Germany or the UK, you know, and do an ID out there. Let's see that too. Let's get that going here soon. I like what they're started with, though. This ID is pretty cool.
So, and the reason why I brought this up, and this is the reason why we have 2 of these, because we originally started with 1 and I added the other one in because, well, hold on, let me get this first. So, Stampede gave them an 8.25 out of 10. Had a nice callback to the Roddy Piper Bret Hart match, definitely. So it was your match of the night, Davey. So mine was the Bronson Seth match, but I couldn't argue with that one either. Yeah. But a lot of people were up in arms because they thought this was going to be an NXT UK situation.
Yeah,
and I wanted to say this, and this is one of the reasons I want to bring it up, is this is completely different than the WWE, the NXT UK. In the NXT UK, they took their own promotion, placed it in the middle of the country, and then just started robbing everybody.
Oh, yeah.
In this, by partnering with these other organizations, it will actually bring new people to the organizations because they can say, all right, guys, we're affiliated with WWE. Come train at the school.
Exactly.
Come train at this promotion, which is going to bring more people into them. Yes, WWE is going to take talent that they think is good. I'll get to the 3 that they actually named 3 today. I've got them right here in front of me. I'll name all 3 of them. But it also brings more people into these promotions, into these organizations who want to learn more and want to wrestle, who didn't think they had a path.
Yeah.
You know, let's not pretend that if WWE wanted to come buy every single one of these people and bring them into the Performance Center, they've got the money to do it.
Oh, yeah.
They could very easily just go through and rob the independents without having this program and say, sorry, you should have paid your people more, even though you're wrestling for $50 a week. Well, we're going to give you $100,000 a year, which is chump change to us, and let you come learn at the Performance Center and rob all your people.
Exactly.
And I think they did this because of what happened in NXT UK, because that killed the UK independent scene.
Oh, big time.
That's why they're doing this, so it doesn't kill the independent scene here. So it has, and I'll liken it to, and this is not me saying WWE is altruistic, is the good guys here. And I know I'm going on a rant. This will be very quick. I think of this as like the way logging companies look at trees.
Oh, yeah.
No companies in the world plant more trees than logging companies.
Yeah. Because
they're the ones that are tearing them down. They know that they're going to run out of trees, so they plant more trees. And this is kind of the way they are. WWE is going to plant more people, and so they don't lose the people.
Yeah.
And so Stampede thinks it's going to do the same thing. I don't think it is. I think this is them learning from that. I think they know that, well, we ran out of people to steal from the UK, so now there's nothing else we can do. We've picked it dry. There are no more trees. We didn't plant anything.
Yeah,
Now,
they definitely scorched earth on that one.
exactly. This way, you've got more people in the future. And yes, that could be a very greedy, very self-centered way of looking at it as well. It doesn't necessarily mean you're the good guy. It just means you're a smart business person. And if WWE is nothing else, they're smart business people. So, and that's the only reason I really want to bring it up. I do want to highlight the 3 people that WWE ID has named earlier today. Cappuccino Jones from This Is Wrestling out of Kansas. Bryce Donovan from Wrestling Open in Long Beach, New York. And a female wrestler, Zeta Steele from Combat Zone Wrestling in Washington, D.C. So if you guys look those guys up, you can go to WWE ID, which you see on the screen there. All 3 of these people are on there. If you want to go take a look at their independent wrestling, all of them have Twitter pages. You can go check out their stuff. They have stuff on their X pages. Please go check them out. Give them some love. Show them, some extra stuff that you didn't see. So when they do make it to WWE, you know what you're looking at. Again, I think that's going to be another cool thing about this, because when they name people like this, you get to go look at them and somebody that you probably wouldn't see until they get to NXT.
Yep.
So with that being said, those are the future pillars of the company. Who do you think, Sved, are the 4 pillars of WWE right now?
4 males. And okay, I know you guys are going to hate me. Dominic, okay, Dom, Braun, Mello, Ilya on the males. Females, okay, you got Lash, Zarya. We're going to go with the 4 NXT females. Lash, Zarya, Julia, and Stephanie. There's your 4.
Yeah. And so there's Stampede coming back with a little bit of a ref pro. It's the only reason they're still alive. Yep, I can't argue with that. And again, I think that's one of the reasons they're changing up their strategy here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those pillars, I get it. And it's hard, what do you mean by pillars? It was the first thing I thought. Are they 4 established people now, or are they 4 people that are going to be the building blocks for the future?
I think that is future.
And which is kind of the way I looked at it too. And as much as it pains my heart, I would have to put Dominic Mysterio in one of those 4 as well. Just because the kid's got talent, the kid can wrestle. He's already got an established. He's well. I mean, if they'll let him talk, because all the heat. I would, again. I'm not going to make a list of pillars of the future and not put Obafemi.
Yes,
because I think he is a future champion. I think he is a future everything in this company, and I think the company thinks that as well. I will say Trick Williams. I think he has the potential. I think he's still learning. I think he's still growing, obviously, but I think he has the potential to be that. And I'm going to go on an underrated one, but it's somebody that I really like personally that I don't really talk about enough, and that's Grayson Waller.
Oof.
If he ever gets out on his own, his promo work, his in-ring work, he has it all. And I think he can be the future of the company. The female side of it, I can't disagree with you there. Lash Legend, you got Zarya that just came in, who's really good. I think Jada Parker's there. I think, I agreed with her. She's probably close to a complete package.
She is very great. And that's the thing, Mr. Hughes been telling us for months about Jada Parker, saying, listen, watch her, and he kept saying it, watch her. Listen, he's going to be taking the IC title, okay? When you guys, when it happens, I'm coming on air and I'm chanting Mysterio the whole time. IC champ.
I can see that where he needs to learn how to lead a match. He's good in what he does, but you're right. I mean, and that only comes with experience.
Yes, and
the more he's in the ring, the more he's been doing it. That will come. And I think I only named 3 women. My 4th woman will be Roxanne. That would be my 4th female pillar. And that's not a slide on any. Look, the women was harder to do than the men because the women's division, again, like we talked about, is so stacked.
Good gravy,
So that's
man.
definitely harder to judge and pick 4 out of all the people that they have there. I mean, because you didn't even look at some of the younger talent that's on Raw. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Ivy Nile. I
I
don't
love
think she's
Ivy
there
and
yet
stuff.
because they don't
Yeah,
give her enough. They don't give her enough TV
exactly.
time. Again, not that she's younger, but I think Chelsea Green, just as from a character standpoint, could be anywhere in there. I know she's a little bit older, and a little bit more experienced. Um, and then there were some others that you could throw in there as well. Uh, but let us know who you guys think, who your 4 pillars of the WWE, men, women, doesn't matter. Um, we will move on to our matchmaker series that we have every week. A little bit of a celebrity battle royal here. 4 celebrity wrestlers that we've seen over the past few years. You've got Bad Bunny, you've got Pat McAfee, Logan Paul, and Stephen Amell. Who you got, brother?
Logan Paul, out of all 4, he's proven to be the better one in the ring. I get it. Bad Bunny's shown that he's good. He can go in the ring. Pat McAfee had great matches with Adam Cole. He's had phenomenal matches throughout time. But Logan Paul, man, he's gone with Roman. He's gone with everybody you could think of it. He's gone with him and Ricochet did some stuff together that was phenomenal. Him and Seth did a thing that was actually pretty good. Did they do a thing? Hold on, I'm trying to think about that. Either way, I don't remember if it was Seth. I don't remember Seth, but I'm gonna retract that one. But I would still go with Logan Paul on this because come on, the Green Arrow. What did he do? What did he do? What did he do?
He's actually been in a lot of matches on AEW Independence, things like that. He's wrestled more than what you saw against Stardust.
Yeah, I understand, but it's still Logan Paul.
And so, to me, it actually comes down between Logan Paul and Stephen Amell.
Really?
I mean, I've seen one Bad Bunny match, maybe 2. I guess maybe 2 because he had the tag match. Yeah, he had the tag match. I've seen 1 or 2 McAfee matches. McAfee's more just of the entertainer side of it.
Yes.
But Stephen Amell's had some good matches. He can go. So I do think Logan Paul ends up taking it, but I think Bad Bunny and Pat McAfee get taken out, and you've got a pretty good one-on-one match between Logan Paul and Stephen Amell.
Yeah.
I think the fact that Logan Paul has kind of transcended into we won't say full-time wrestler because he's not there much, but more of a regular wrestler.
Yeah.
Than just a celebrity wrestler, I think gives him the edge. But I couldn't let you slide by and not give Stephen Amell a little love. He's had some really good matches on the indies, and he's had some other stuff other than what you saw against Stardust. That's how he got his start.
I know. I get what you're saying. I've never been a fan of the Green Arrow or anything like that. So I was going to say, Stephen Amell takes the pen in this one. Bad Bunny does a crazy move. Pat McAfee does a crazy move. And then it comes out of nowhere, Logan Paul with a crazy move. For the 1, 2, 3.
And more than just Arrow, go watch Heels, the show about wrestling that he's the star of. He plays the main wrestler there.
That's on Netflix.
That's pretty good on there too. It is now. Yeah, I think I think they just put it. It was on somewhere else. It was on like AMC or something like that, or A&E, or it was on another Stars probably or something like that. They just put it on Netflix. I definitely recommend you go watch it. It's a great show. And he does play the lead there. Plays a wrestler. It shows a lot about the wrestling business and stuff like that, kind of the indie business. But I definitely have him and Logan Paul kind of going at it. Logan Paul does come out on top, as annoying as he is. Again, I think we said goodnight, Lady Alpha, while you were talking, so I wanted to make sure we said that. We appreciate the great show compliment. We will leave it off. I will sign off now. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody in the chat. Stampede, Lady Alpha, Herb, Raj, Carissa, thank you for joining us here. Appreciate your comments there. Please come back with us. Please give us a like and subscribe. The Run In Wrestling Podcast or @_Big Mike 27. Trying to get to 100. We're at 81 right now. We're on the road to 100. Hopefully we can do that before the new year. I'd love to have 100 subscribers before Raw goes to Netflix. And maybe we can do a live watch of the Netflix show with 100 subscribers. So that would be pretty cool. But we will end as we do every week with Sped's final word.
Listen, I got 2 things to say before we go off. One, AEW didn't do too bad this week. I know they got 535K versus the 613 that NXT got. But if you look at the demo, 0.16 to NXT, 0.17 to AEW in the 18 to 49 graphic. NXT also has the CW, which is free for anybody who's got an antenna. So they have an advantage, 9% more. Yes, Dave Meltzer said that. Have that, boom, boom. But I think AEW's on the rise. People are still realizing it. Yes, they lost this week, but they still got great product. Things are going smooth over there right now, and people will start realizing that. The second thing I was going to talk about is this. You see Tiny Scott Hall? If you guys want to know any other wrestler that we could put right there, Roman Reigns maybe putting the one up, LA Knight doing the whatever, let us know on Twitch or Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Just let us know what wrestler. I'll get it done. That's all I got to say, though. Thank you guys for tuning in. It was beautiful. Big Mike, it's all you, man.
Have a good night, everybody.